Morning, peeps. I'm back. Now, I'm not going to be here for long. This is going to be like 10 or 15 minutes because we all know what we're doing. I've already done one video this week and not much has changed. The only thing that's changed is my captain because I will not be captaining Salah. I think there's at least two better options and we'll have a quick chat about that. A quick look at the fixtures for this coming week and the impact of today's game between Arsenal and United. I missed it actually because I'd organised a run for 6:30 this morning, and I was expecting the Man United game to be an evening kickoff, but it kind of was on while I was going for my run. I went for quite a good run actually, Pete. So I went with someone from work, and it was good. We done 10k, just over 10k, and we went really slow. That's over 6 minutes a kilometre pace. But it was quite nice, nice and relaxing. And followed the river. All the birds were chirping and everything else. Very nice little run. So I've come back, watched the highlights of the United game, saw how resilient they were, and it looks like they're back, doesn't it? They did well in their Premier League game last week, did well tonight. Very good to withstand being down to 10 men for all that time, survive extra time, and then win on penalties. So well done to them. And it's meant that I will, I think, be doing what I said I was going to do, which is to get rid of that little prick Iwobi, who he played for them in the FA Cup the other day, didn't he? They got 4 goals. He didn't even get an assist. And like I said, he was a mistake by me because he's not a fantasy worthy player. He's got no pedigree as a fantasy player, has he really? Unlike Fernandez. And I really don't know why he was in my team, to be honest. And I'm starting to think the same about Sarr. He's not really, doesn't really have any fantasy pedigree either. And so far I've got nothing from him. But anyway, I'm bringing Fernandez in. I'm taking the armband off Salah, and I'm probably putting it on Isaac. The other option is Fernandez, who will be my vice captain. So I'm definitely doing this. I'm not like other people. Like I think it was FPL General. I watched 3 weeks in a row doing an early show early on in the week. I think I might captain Palmer. And then you get to the deadline and he's always captaining Salah. So I'm not like that. If I come on here and tell you I'm not captaining Salah, then I'm not captaining Salah. So that's that, pips. Unless, of course, something happens to Isaac or Fernandez. Because Fernandez is on the vice captain, Isaac on the captain, Semenyo on the bench. Now, João Pedro went for a scan. He did a thumbs up. We'll see when we go and have a quick look at Reddit. But it looks like he's all right. And I'm hoping, in fact, he doesn't play because I'd rather quite like to not have a benching headache this week. Because we know from the last 3 weeks that my bench player always scores more than my starters, don't they? And I've got a feeling Semenyo away at Chelsea, he's going to enjoy himself in that fixture. Chelsea can't defend and Semenyo is going to be giving them problems. Solanke, I wasn't that happy, was I, having to start him at Arsenal? Like, you could even argue Semenyo or Solanke, but we're going to have a quick look at the fixtures because Arsenal have only got 3 days to prepare for that Tottenham game. Tottenham needed extra time to beat Tamworth, didn't they, tonight? But at least Solanke didn't start that game. They put out a B team. They had to go through extra time. But hopefully it wasn't as taxing for them as it was for Arsenal. Arsenal have lost Jesus, went off on a stretcher. He's probably not going to play. Reports that Timber's got a hamstring injury, so he might not play. And like they've lost, they're not doing well at the moment, and they've only got 3 days to play before having to play Tottenham in the local derby. So Solanke would definitely be starting for me, and Semenyo would be on my bench for this game here. So quickly look through them. Brentford City, pretty good for your Brentford assets. If you want a City asset, I suggest Savio is the best option at the moment. Pep's come out and said that Savio's in a really good place, playing really well and deserves to play. So he's going to be playing. And it's Pep though, so you never quite know, but he probably will be playing. And Savio's looking decent, isn't he? Like I said, I think Chelsea are going to struggle against Bournemouth. Bournemouth are going to give them problems defensively, which is why I'm reluctant to bench Semenyo, but I really don't have much choice. Can't stop sipping on this, can I, Pete? So I did go for a run, you know, so I need to rehydrate. West Ham home to Fulham. West Ham, I don't know if they've got a new manager yet, but they are getting one. That's going to make Fulham's task a lot more difficult than it would have been. Forest at home to Liverpool. Liverpool have not been in great form recently, and I expect them to score no more than 2 goals, maybe only 1 goal. And it's why I will not be captaining Salah. Not Everton, Villa. Another team that possibly will have a new manager in place. Moyes coming back. Looks that way anyway. So a tougher task for Villa. If I had Rodgers, would I start him? I don't know. Long term, Everton getting rid of Dyche, probably not good for their defenders. And he wasn't doing a bad job, actually. I was quite surprised he was sacked. I think these people that own the club, you know, you get this, don't you? They come in and it's not easy staying in the Premier League, and they might find that out. But Moyes isn't a bad manager, is he, to be fair? So they might be okay. Leicester home to Palace. Could go either way, that one, couldn't it? I'm hoping for Sarr points, but if I don't get them, he's not going to be in my team much longer, to be honest. Now, Newcastle home to Wolves. Now, this is a good fixture for Isaac. I mean, it's certainly a better fixture than Liverpool's fixture, which is why I've got the armband on him. And it probably will stay that way. Arsenal, Tottenham, local derby, often goals, which is why I'm happy with Solanke. Arsenal assets, you know, I'll play Gabriel. But I'm not really fearful of Arsenal without Saka. They're not looking great. Odegaard missed a penalty. So I don't know who's going to be on penalties. Maybe Odegaard still, but you never know. Ipswich home to Brighton. Ipswich looking good lately. So I don't know which way that'll go. Could go either way. Man United home to Southampton. Fantastic fixture. I'll tell you what, who I like at United is Maguire. The manager's liking him. He's giving him a lot of game time. And they're not too bad defensively, aren't they? So if I was in the market for a defender, I think Maguire demands, you know, a lot of attention, I think. And they have got, here's the blooming chips. They've got the prices out for them now, haven't they? So Southampton, Brighton, Fulham, Palace, Tottenham, Everton, Ipswich in United's next 7. Hopefully I can keep Fernandes for his entire run and he's not going to get sent off again. He's a petulant little prick, isn't he? Did you see him today throwing his boot around? You know, he thought he'd been fouled and he was throwing his boot on the floor, and he's as bad as me. It's the sort of thing I do. You know what I mean? Get all emotional and start blooming chucking things about. And did that with a chess piece once at the chess club. I mean, someone wouldn't stop talking. I was trying to concentrate. I told them to shut, and they wouldn't shut. They kept talking. In and I picked the rook. Oops, sorry. Picked the rook up, threw it at the head. You know what I mean? It would have hurt if it had hit him. Just missed. And but that's what Fernandes is like. You know, he's always getting sent off and causing trouble. But anyway, peeps, that's about it. You know, captaining Isaac, vice captaining Fernandes. You could even captain Fernandes. I wouldn't captain Palmer. Because like I said, Chelsea are looking a bit iffy. Palmer's not being played quite the way I'd like. He's I think Fernandez is in his way a bit now. I think they need to change it. I need to put Fernandez back a bit, I think. So that's about it. Gabriel home to Tottenham. Trent away at Forest. Robinson home to West Ham. I'll tell you what I watched the other day, peeps. I watched Have a Beer. Is that what he's called? Something like that. Something Have a Beer. His YouTube channel. And he rated a few of the content creators. I was on there, Yelena and a few other people. And he rated them like tiers. And he put me at the top, peeps, in the special category, Not special, but proper special, you know what I mean? So in the special category at the top. So put the entertaining ones at the top. Me, FPL, Nightmare, and Yolanda, can't remember her name. But we're all at the top anyway. And it's good. That's what we want, peeps. More entertainment, This one's probably not as entertaining as they normally are. I don't have any stories. People telling me they want stories. I could give you some stories, but the trouble is I've got people I know watch these now, so I've got to be careful what I talk about, you know what I mean? So, but we got a few. We'll have a quick look at Reddit, shall we? See what's happening over there. What have we got here? Assistant manager chip price reveals. We'll have a look at that, shall we? I can't read that, peeps. Look how small that is. How do you make it bigger? There we go. This is the assistant manager chip price reveals that start in game week 24. So my mate, the one I played golf with, he didn't know. He thought you bought your chip and you didn't get the money back again. You know what I mean? When you got rid of them. But of course you do. Like if you buy Arteta, takes 1.5 million out of your budget. But when you sell him again, you obviously get that 1.5 million back. The only thing I don't know is if they're subject to price changes. Like if he lost his first game, whether their prices change over the course of a season. Say they go through a bad run of form, is Arteta still going to be 1.5 million in game week 30 or game week 31? We don't know that, do we? I don't think we know that. I'm not sure if it's been stated whether they do change in price or not. But you wouldn't think they're going to change in price in the 3 weeks that you own them. I suppose it is possible that they might change in price. But what have we got? We've got Arteta, Maresca, Slot, Guardiola, and Howe, 1.5. And I don't know if Howe should be 1.5, really. I know Bournemouth have been good, but why not put them at 1.3? Close that gap. It's a big drop off, isn't there, after Howe to Iriola? Who's Iriola? I don't even know who he is. Who's he manager of? What's that, peeps? Is he Bournemouth? Ah, shows how hopeless I am, doesn't it? How's Newcastle? Okay, so Newcastle's up there. I'm showing my ignorance here, peeps, aren't I? You think, why am I listening to this idiot and he doesn't even know who manages which club? So Newcastle at 1.5. Yeah, fair enough, I guess. Fair enough. They could have made these all slightly different now, couldn't they? They got a big drop off. So we've got these managers down here, 1.1. Whole load of them. I don't think we're going to use them though, are we? I think it's unlikely. I think most people are going to stick to the top teams. It's interesting, isn't it? Because a lot are going through form struggles now. Like Chelsea, I'm not sure I'd rely on Chelsea over 3 games. And you're not going to be able to use them against somebody 5 places higher because nobody really 5 places higher than them, are they? So I think if you're going to, even Arsenal going through a rough patch. So it's look, even Liverpool, I mean, I've got that double game week, so a lot of people are going to use it in game week 24. But I still don't know what strategy I'm going to use. Whether, look at he's done the bottom, only 0.5. But like I said, you get your money back on them, so I don't see any reason why you'd go down there, really, Therese. Very little reason why you'd go down there. The only time would be at the end of the season if they're playing teams that have kind of got nothing to play for. But anyway, that's that, peeps. You know, a lot of people were over that chip already and don't like it. Oh, that's still on that shred, isn't it? We don't want to go there. We'll get off that shred. Gabriel Jesus stretch it off. So he's, a lot of people have got him, haven't they, now? Probably a good excuse to get rid of him because fixtures are mixed. Timber off with a possible hamstring injury, holding his hamstring and limping before signalling to the bench that he needed to come off. So that's not promising. There's only got 3 days to recover. Very tough on those two teams to have to play each other in the third round of the cup, wouldn't it, really? Dallow's out after getting sent off. So he's missing the FA Cup game. He'll be a bit of a loss, won't he? I wonder if they'd put Rashford in as a wing back. Unlikely, I think, because I think they're selling him, aren't they? But it could be an opportunity for someone to... Right, Ahmed was benched. He had a small issue during the week and didn't start. But he was on the bench. So maybe his issues like nothing to do with being injured or whatever. Who knows? Could be anything, couldn't it? But he probably will play against Southampton. Calafiori's out with an injury, so Arsenal defence looking a bit short of numbers, isn't it? Shame for the West Ham striker. I mean, new manager coming in, opportunity, and he's out for 3 months. So that's not good, is it, peeps, for him? Especially Antonio's out, isn't he, for a while? So hopefully that'll be good for Robinson. I don't know if Bowen's still out as well, isn't he? He was injured recently. So hopes of a Fulham clean sheet. So have we got anything else of interest down here? I don't know, peeps. I don't know. Best price change predictor. Let's have a look. So it reckons FPL stats has been doing well for rises and fallers still. So the old FPL stats still doing the business. I've been using FPL, live FPL, because I might go there in a sec actually. Shall we go there? No. But I think I will make my Fernandes transfer. I'm going to have to watch it. I might make my transfer today if he's going to rise in price. I'd say him scoring and coming through uninjured is going to increase his transfers. He's going to become more popular because he did score. What happened yesterday? Ahmed right outside of my letterbox outside. The postie can't be already, surely. Sounded like a motorbike. Must have been the Everlot peeps. Just delivering my mail. Hopefully they haven't dropped off my courier item because it needs signing for, peeps. Very sensitive stuff. You know, I can't wait to get my hands on it. Right, let's have a look. What's this? Fantasy Football Scout picks for this week. Dallow, Hall, Munoz. See Hall gonna have another good game. Home to Wolves. Blooming killing me, Newcastle have been, but at least I have got Isaac now, at least. Fernandes is in the team. Palmer, Ahmad, Salah, Mateta, Jesus. They'll have to change that, won't they, with him being injured. And Munoz, usual suspects. Dallow, he's out as well, isn't he? He's another one. I don't think that many people own Dallow, to be fair. But he did have a good fixture, didn't he? So if you did own him and he got sent off, that would be pretty annoying, wouldn't it? Like Guardiola and Walker, so we'll probably have what's this? He has to explore the options to play abroad and end his career. That's interesting, isn't it? So Walker's had enough, obviously. He hasn't been getting picked much, has he? So probably wants to get away from his missus, doesn't he? He's been having a bit of trouble there, I think. Right, what else have we got? Let's have a look. Just teams. Pedro scan okay. Yeah, so that's good news for Lewis, I guess, isn't it? If Walker's off. Who are people captaining this week? I did go and have a look at the captain poll on Scout, which is the one I do tend to follow for captaincy, and even that one does not have Salah top. So it definitely gave me the confidence. I normally pick the top of the polls, and Isaac's top of the poll, which meant I'm probably going to be captain. Well, I am going to be captaining Isaac. If 80% were captaining Salah still or whatever, then I probably would have captained Salah. But the fact that a lot of people are moving away from means I probably wouldn't have done. What's this here? Assistant manager points tracker. So people are looking at the points tracker already. Chelsea with a 0. So you've got to be careful with that blooming thing, haven't you? That points. I'm just going to pick safe, I think. I'm going to pick safe. Easy, you know, because you do get points for goals as well in the that assistant manager chip, whatever it's called. So I will be picking easy, you know. I don't want to risk a team losing by playing someone higher rated, even though you can get more points if they win. Anyone else feel the new chip doesn't fit the style of the game? Well, it's very controversial, this chip, isn't it? A lot of people saying it's overly complicated. Drags on for 3 weeks. You know, it is kind of a bit that way, isn't it? Predicted points, predicted captaincy picks. So this is a predicted points for the week. Strangely, Palmer's top, which I don't understand, to be honest. Home to Bournemouth. You'd think Fernandes and Isaac would have better chances of points. I find that very odd that Palmer's top of that list. Haaland away at Brentford. Would you captain Haaland if you owned him? Don't know. He's back in form, isn't he? I don't know why Odegaard's so high. He's been doing nothing, has he? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Welbeck could be back from injury. We don't know. No one knows. Moyes is the new manager, so he's already new manager. Job owners, what do we do now? Shouldn't have bought him in the first place, basically. What's all this stuff? Assistant manager. My strategy with the assistant manager is just to like not bother too much about it. Do you know what I mean? I'm just going to play it, get it over with, and that's that. Funny, isn't it? All these teams playing like Liverpool home to Accrington Stanley, and I saw on Twitter they're talking up all the like every time one of the minor players scores, you know, they make a big issue of it. Same with Chelsea, you know, and it's like they're playing blooming non-league teams, for heaven's sake. Net transfers in and out. So, what are people bringing in? Gordon, Real, Hall, Isaac, Ahmad, Rogers, Savio, Sales, Mabuemo, Fernandes. Not that many bringing Fernandes, but it's all the ones that scored points in the last week, isn't it? Always is, isn't it? Always is, basically. See, James is back for Chelsea. He didn't play that well, did he, really? That's about it, peeps, for the day. I'll tell you what I have been doing this week. I started playing Fantasy PGA Golf, which is like a similar sort of competition. You know, you pick golfers, have some on your bench. First week, of course, my bench golfer has scored more points than my starters. You know, nothing changes. Nothing changes, peeps. But when I play these other competitions, I like to look at the rules. And one rule that they had in that one is that your lowest priced player that you start scores extra points. You know, and that could be, you know, FPL are looking at making lots of changes, aren't they? And bringing in different options. That could be one they could look at, you know, like extra, like 1.5 times points for your lowest scoring, your lowest price player. You know, it'd actually be quite good, wouldn't it? Someone like Rogers or Semenyo could be really valuable. You know, they're pretty good at the moment, aren't they? But instead of having like a vice captain that does absolutely nothing, you know, you could have, you could even have 1.5 points for your vice captain, couldn't you? Add that into the game, or but this golf game has got the lowest price player in your team scoring extra points, and that's something, you know, FPL could consider, or having 1.5 points for the team, what is it, the bottom of the league. If you pick somebody for, or one of the teams in the relegation zone, if you pick one of those players, you get 1.5 times points for one of them. You know, because I was looking at watched Have a Beer or whatever he's called, and when he was doing his review of my channel, and he was talking about how I was influential in getting the deadline moved, and how I'd talk about different options for the game and that. So I thought I'd like, you know, I like to explore those type of things, and there's quite a few interesting little variations they could have, isn't there, to add points, you know, to encourage you to like widen the player base, for useful player base, because we all have like the same team, and there's very little variation, very narrow field of what players you can pick. So like having extra points for example, teams that are in the relegation zone would encourage you to pick players that you otherwise wouldn't consider, you know. But would 1.5 points times 1.5 points make much difference? I suppose someone like Delap, for example, would become quite popular, wouldn't he, if he got 1.5 times points? Or the Ipswich defenders, you know, so that would be quite an interesting thing you could look at, wouldn't it? There's all sorts of various things they could consider. I mean, I know they are hiring somebody to take the game forward, aren't they, and to partner with other organisations, etc. So they'll be looking at all that type of thing, I expect. Anyway, peeps, that's about it for the day. You know, I'm waiting for this courier. I don't know where he is, but he'll be somewhere hanging around. So I'm going to head off now, and good luck for the game week. I think we've pretty much covered everything, really. I don't know if you're getting rid of Jesus, who are you going to get? Are you going to get Real, or are you going to get Wood? Somebody like that, probably, aren't you? Or I don't know who else you're going to have to worry about. I think a lot of people probably be rolling. And like I said the other day, you can go onto that live FPL website, and you can now see how many transfers everyone's got, which is interesting, isn't it? I don't know if you can on the actual Premier League site. If you can, leave me a comment, you know, saying where you can see it, because I had a look on the FPL site and I couldn't see where you can see how many transfers people in the mini leagues have got. So anyway, peeps, that's about it. You know, like I said, I've been going for runs every day, doing this, that and the other. We've got Wednesday the deadline, isn't it? What is it today? Is it now, peeps? Monday. So the deadline's coming up shortly, so it probably is time to start looking at transfers and everything. I think all the FA Cup games are finished now, And that's about it. So good luck for the game week. And think seriously about your captain, because don't be afraid to change it from Salah. Although likewise, don't be afraid to keep it on Salah, because he always seems to do well, doesn't he? And you never know, they could batter Forest. But on recent evidence, Forest aren't getting battered. So and like I said, Liverpool haven't been fantastic recently, really. And everyone's having a wobble, aren't they? I don't know whose turn is it next to have a wobble, but it would be good if Liverpool started dropping a few points, wouldn't it? It'd make the title race a lot more interesting. Anyway, peeps, I'm off now. So like and subscribe, and I shall be back probably, because it's a midweek fixtures. I will be back probably after the games. I'll probably do a video after each game this week. So I might even do a watch along or whatever you call it. Anyway, so cheers for now then, peeps. Like I said, like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you all later. Okay then, so cheers for now.